transparency for our listeners. What I need you to do is just record some random lines of you responding to things.
Okay.
So that we can record an episode, and then we'll just like put you. Yeah, that's a good one. And then like you'll rant at some point, and we'll respond, and we'll be like, "Oh wow, Dalton, that's crazy."
I'll record some super vague response. Be like, I liked it.
That'd be awesome.
They'll just dub that in.
Effect. Nah, I feel like I was a little late on that.
Yeah, it was better than other times you've done it. That's for sure.
Before we dive into today's episode, JARdon the Mess is brought to you by Dynamic Fitness Supply, your one-stop shop for fitness equipment. You can find us in Santa Rosa off 4th Street next to Urban Garden. Mention JARdon the Mess, get an additional 10-15% off. You give us a call, 707-536-9077. All right. How you guys been? Soon to be sponsored by Walgreens, maybe.
Dude, I feel like
that would be fucking great.
You should put in a good word.
Put in a good word. Hey, it's a little raunchy, but I mean,
I like it.
I'll talk it up.
I feel like it's been so long that there's so much to talk about that I forgot what I wanted to talk about.
I got a list, but
right after Christmas, there was a solid 2 weeks we didn't record, and I felt like I had a lot of stuff packed up and ready to talk about. I really did, but I think we all knew it just wasn't going to happen. Just the timing. It just I didn't even want to ask. That was the thing, because I knew it wasn't going to happen.
I don't even remember what happened, like why everything was so crazy.
And then just, at least for me, life just started happening really fast all of a sudden. Fast. So it's like, oh fuck, okay. With a lot of other things happening in between, or not like necessarily happening, but like emotional things just kind of take a toll on your mind, kind of really make you take a few steps back, and we can dive into that.
Yeah.
But how you guys been? How the cats?
They're right here, actually, somewhere.
Yeah. How's
annoying as fuck?
How's the dog?
He's pretty good, right, dude?
I see his nose.
Nose.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a he's been a little bit of a stinker. Just because I feed him. There's a minute there where I was basically feeding him cooked. I'd go to the store and just buy packs of chicken breast. And so I just feed him chicken breast and pumpkin puree, which is it's like protein, but there's got to be some fiber there. So he's not just like, stinky farts all the day.
Dry shits.
And then there was a point where I had to I was like, all right, well, but regular food for him. It's not like kibble or anything. It's like, it's still like wet food. And he just was like, I got it, cut it up, put it in the bowl, and he just looked at it and looked back at me and looked back at it, and I was just like, dude, you're gonna eat that, I don't have anything else for you. And he just walked away. He just let it sit and rot in his bowl all day long. I was like, look, 2 can play at this game. So I was just like, all right, it's there if you want it. So then dinner comes around and I'm like, all right, I throw the food away in front of him. I'm like, well, this was wasted, thanks for that. And I pull out the same exact jar. I open it and I put it in his face. And I'm like, do you smell this? This is what I'm going to make you. And I just cut it up, put it in a bowl, and I put it down in front of him. And he ate that shit up because he was starving.
Yeah. It's like, I've done that sometimes with the cats, but I'm not gonna lie, I usually just fold.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. But there was one time I bought a fresh bag. This is back in my early days of wanting to buy healthy food. I bought a bag of Rachel Ray's cat food. I'm like, Rachel Ray, it's probably some bullshit, but it's on sale, whatever.
Yeah.
I put it down, dude, and I think at this time I only had Bernie. She didn't eat it. I'm talking just not even a nibble. I must have left that shit there for like 2 or 3 days, and she just must have just ate soft food. Like it just was not going anywhere. And like that's when I realized, okay, like either she's the pickiest cat ever, or Rachel Ray doesn't know how to make fucking cat food, because man, this cat eats everything.
Yeah.
So every time I see Rachel Ray shit now, I just talk bad shit about it, because it was a waste of like $20.
Yeah.
Like healthy, like it's amazing when it's not Friskies, it's expensive.
Yeah, I think it's like a wellness brand or something. I don't know.
Wellness is good. It's expensive though.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
but
I mean, well, soon I can start buying that. Like, fuck, dude. It's just like
getting that discount.
Wellness, dude. Wellness is chunky. That's the thing. Wellness is like fucking chunky fucking food. It's almost like dog food.
They like chunky and wet. They will not eat pate.
That's wild. Yeah.
Like, I wish they ate pate, because then we can buy it from Costco. But
they'll do pate. I will say my cats do get stubborn. When I first bought the Costco food, or Tanya did, they didn't take to it. But I'm like, look, I'm broke. Tanya's floating me right now. You're gonna eat this stack of food, because there's 3 flavors. I mean, and slowly started eating it. Morty, for whatever reason, can go without soft food. For whatever reason, he's picky. He's like, all right, well, I'll just eat hard food for like a week. And I'll just, But then, either way, they're picky bastards, and I do think they eat better than me. I do make my rounds though to PetSmart, because I like to get like some expensive solid gold. Like, here you go. Dude, there's like fucking straight up like just shrimp in there, like baby shrimp, and then.
For me, the thing that I do is I'll splurge him when it's hot down here. They have like puppy ice cream. And it'll be like bacon and like, whatever, something like pumpkin. And so I'll get him like these little ice cream cone cups. Then I'll put them in the freezer. And then sometimes I'm like, you want an ice cream? And he's just like,
yeah, that's dope.
Do I?
Yeah. Well, I have so many discussion topics for us.
Let's start
them out.
But before I start going through the list, because there's a theme here for this episode. For a reason, potentially. Was there anything that anyone wanted to hit beforehand? Anything come to you guys? You feel moved by the spirit? Anything deep within your JARdon the Mess bones you need to talk about?
Last of Us.
That's what I was hoping you guys would talk.
Have you watched it?
But you don't have to worry.
Talk about. The question is, how many times have I seen the first episode?
God, can I make a guesstimate?
Yes.
3.
I think you've seen it 7 times.
That's a lot.
that's a very accurate. I would say 7 or 8. 7 or 8, yeah. I actually, I'd have to actually count, but I would say 7 or 8. About 3 of those views were background noise, but it's,
yeah.
But at that point, like, it's
so
one. I love Tanya for just buying the game for me for my birthday or Christmas.
Yeah, because you never would have done that. Right?
I would have never fucking done it. And why she decided to pick The Last of Us is beyond me. Because I only wanted
fucking game.
Yeah, apparently. Oh yes.
But that she played it.
Yeah, she played it once a while ago, and then Dalton said it was a good game, so I'm like, all right. And hear me out. I got the remastered version. If it was shitty version even on a PS4 shitty version, like the likelihood of me like, bro, I got an Xbox X like right here. Like I'm not doing this. But it was remastered, so everything was smoothed out. It looked good.
Yeah.
And then dude, the gameplay wasn't too crazy to learn. It was smooth. The storyline was really, really good. And then the ending was just fucking wild. You're just like, what? You're like, what?
And then the show comes out.
And then you got like the show.
It's pretty spot on.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone I've heard.
And after I played the first time, I turned around and played it a second time, just like back.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I might have even played it a third time. I'm deciphering if I did or not after I played The Last of Us 2, because I need to go back, because like you can plow through the first one fairly quickly. But dude, it's the most accurate show I've ever seen in my life. Like from game to I mean, if we're talking like Halo to this, like,
Yeah. Well,
like,
one's
dude,
HBO, one's Showtime. So
is Halo Showtime? That's Showtime. I thought it was Paramount. Free
well,
with
they ended up
ads.
distributing it through Paramount. Yeah. But originally
Oh,
Showtime was the one that was making it. That's why I was like, all right, maybe, just maybe. Like,
And then no.
I don't know.
wait. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe Paramount owns Showtime. I don't know, but
I don't know, but
it's so bad.
they were. It's like they're. It's
So
like
good.
it's like here's $500 million. Just make some great shows. Sure, let's spread it across the board between 50 shows, and let's hope for the best versus making 10 good ones. That's what they did. But we're gonna sprinkle a little bit more budget over here. But Last of Us, great show. I want Pedro Pascal's hair color. Like his hair color is like solid, it's like that perfect salt pepper look. I'm like, okay, I rock that. But like because Pedro can't grow a full beard, and I saw it because if I let my hair grow, it gets patchy right here. I'm like, is that what I would look like if I actually took 6 months to grow it out? Because it would take me not 6 months, it would take me a while. But
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, I'm like, is that what it would kind of look like? It's not terrible, but I think I don't want to go through those early stages.
Yeah.
Just gotta get past.
Dude, that's the thing. You gotta get past it. Yeah.
See, I finally got past that stage with the hair, and now I can literally kind of do what I want with it now. It's like I can manipulate it. Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I teared up at the first time I watched it.
Dude, like
I totally teared. I made sure I got extra high and extra emotional.
well, the thing is, like
for real.
To me, you get that feeling again. Like replaying the game, you can't get that feeling again when his daughter gets shot. You know, it's coming, it's there.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like watching the show, I don't know, just because it was a show or different care. I don't know, but like you get that feel again. You're like, damn.
And also her death wasn't like a some drawn out, I love you, Dad.
Right, yeah.
It's like
it was more like, oh my God, this is extremely painful for everyone, and extremely painful for her, and there's blood everywhere, and now she's dead. All within a span of like a minute. And you're just like, oh dude. Well, also they whoever the directors were, I was reading our articles about the show. They designed it so that they really kind of gave you that up feel, or they're putting a lot of effort into this first one, like Dot's single dad, daughter, put that extra love and a little bit of care you can feel. But it was so well done. Like just fucking, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a toss-up right now between Joel and Marlene's character. Marlene's character is really spot on. Like her character is fucking.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the same chick.
Yeah, it is. She's, and all the article I read with her is, which because she's the same one. We're also talking 10 years and 9-year difference. When they were doing the thing with her, she was younger, maybe sound a little different. Now you got her, kind of looks like battle veteran, gray hair. Literally, it's her gray hair, kind of just weathered and tired. And also, nobody's done up with a fucking lot of makeup too, which I like.
Right.
Like everything's real. Like it's just the feel of it is just so good. And there's no pretty boy, there's no pretty girl. Like it's just people are gonna die. We know it's gonna die. We know it's gonna happen. I need you to get me fucking there as accurately as possible, and wait till that bloater comes in at the end. Maybe not even be the end. Who knows? Might be the next episode.
So yeah, it is the same chick.
Yeah. The guy who voices Joel, and then I read the girl who voiced Ellie. Yeah, she's gonna be some pregnant lady that they find along the way for her cameo. And Joel, the guy who voices Joel, his name is Troy Baker. He's gonna be some guy named James.
He voiced Nathan.
He voices like
Uncharted.
Everything. He's a
cool.
very, 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 very prominent voice actor.
So he knows the name. I only know the name from Last of Us. So
yeah,
he's and Ragnarok. He's Bitter Squirrel, whoever that is.
He's the stupid squirrel.
I was gonna say,
squirrel's got like 5 voices though. No, my Bitter Squirrel. Yeah.
Did anyone see the Uncharted movie?
Yeah.
You know he's the guy on the beach when he's like
Oh, is that him?
because he plays Nathan Drake. So he's when he's like, hey, yeah, I think I did something like that once or
I
whatever,
was
right?
wondering who that was. Like I knew it had to do. There's some weird connection, funny connection there, but
he's the
I didn't
voice
know that was
actor.
him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That movie was good. It was like it had bits of all of them in there, I think.
No comment.
As much as I would love to just dive into Last of Us in its first episode, I kind of want to hijack this and talk about something very important. How Book of Boba Fett is so terrible to watch, but also enjoyable to watch.
Well, you lost me there. You had me in the.
I did my research before I brought this up. Because it's background noise.
Choose your words carefully.
I have been watching. I have had, let's see, Mandalorian season 1 and 2 and Book of Boba Fett, like just on repeat, like because there's just nothing for me to like really watch that I'm interested in. So I've been watching these on repeat, just leaving it on like whatever, don't really care. It's background noise. A lot of it's when I'm on the computers. But before I dive in, is there anything that you want to say?
Yes,
Dalton.
Troy Baker. Have you guys played Death Stranding?
No, not yet.
All right, never mind.
Actually, no.
But Death Stranding's Norman Reedus, isn't it?
But that Troy Baker guy voices the villain in there.
Aren't they making a second? Aren't they making a second Death Stranding?
They made like some director's cut. I don't know really what that is, but I think they're making a second one.
Okay. Then this is the perfect segue into the theme of this episode, which is Star Wars, because I have a string of Star Wars questions here that I think we can use this episode to talk about. Is there any particular reason why we should frame this episode as a Star Wars episode? It's not saying that any of you is going to die immediately we start our Lord of the Rings episode again. But if it did, maybe it's time to think about starting a new campaign, and Star Wars might be it. I don't know. Let's see. But let's talk about some Star Wars stuff. You hit my theme here, and I have so many Star Wars. Let's talk about Book of Boba Fett, shall we? What do you want to talk about?
There's a lot to unpack. There's actually a fucking lot to unpack.
It's so bad.
No. I'm not talking I'm talking about across all three shows, but Book of Boba Fett, more importantly, on how terrible but watchable it is. Because there's a reason why it's got over a 7-point rating on IMDb, and there's a reason why all like the 7 to 9 scores are ripping the show, but giving it a likable or respectable grade, which is, it's just weird because like all the majority of the comments are terrible. Like the show, like he's weak, he's a bitch, he doesn't do shit, which is all true and accurate. It's not.
Yeah, but we talked about this during. Sorry, I'll make sure that I'm not flipping this paper in anger in front of the mic. We talked about this when I went up for Christmas, which was it doesn't fucking make any sense because he literally is like in the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
Dumb. He's Book of Boba Fett. Then there's a point in which he goes and does his entire thing at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Yes.
He's a badass.
Yes.
Then he comes back into the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
And it's lame again. Like it doesn't make any sense.
When you said that, it blew my mind just hearing it out loud. It really did. I was like, oh my God. So that's why I had to go back and watch it and actually just put the shit together to find out why, like, he's such a bitch. So let's just go to Book of Book. First of all, let's just go to book. Let's go to book.
I'm ready. Let's talk about it.
The whole thing with the Tuskens, okay.
That's okay. I like it.
Okay. It's okay. Like at the end of the day, it's actually the most likable thing about the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, and then the episode 5 and 6 where he wasn't in it.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Mandalorian?
Oh yeah,
the
and
lost
everybody.
episodes.
You know what's funny is a lot of the comments are like, yeah, for whatever reason, or not whatever. The show was like very up and down, and when I say up, 5 and 6, and down was everything else. Yeah,
that's just down and then up and then down.
Yes. So Boba, whatever, when he comes back into the play and he's just all of a sudden, I just want to start a house. Like, how are you gonna fucking start a house, bro? You don't have a family. Like, you got no followers, and you got Fennec. Okay, Fennec, so you become your loyal follower. Okay, cool. Now you go back there, you kill Bib. Okay, you assume all that Bib has, but in reality, all we see is you and Fennec just in Jabba's palace by yourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody's there. You don't have a fucking family. There is no family. Okay, there is no family, and you're expected to be a daimyo.
Not only is there no family, there's not enough people to actually run the base. Like,
there's not. That's why you only see the kitchen. And like
Jabba's palace is huge.
Yes,
it's huge.
And there's when Bib was running it, there was minimum of at least like I think there was like 16 heads at minimum.
Because they murdered all those people in the hangar too.
Yeah.
When they were like getting his shit back.
Yeah. So okay, so at that point, and he's trying to. It's so terrible.
I have a point. I have an interesting point, but I want you to keep going. Keep
going.
And
then I'm gonna break it down because Boba Fett's only in like reality. His show is only 5 episodes, so it's kind of quick to go through his shit.
Yeah.
If you just take,
he's not even in it.
He's not even in it. If you actually just take out the Tusken stuff. So then Boba Fett, then he goes to the thing, the bar area, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I didn't see your litter. Oh, I walk on my own 2 feet. I'm like, dude, what? You're like, why are you trying to be this noble guy all of a sudden? You were supposed to be the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, murking fools, and now you're like literally, you somehow decide to flip a switch. You flipped a switch, and you're like, I'm gonna start telling everybody how to live their lives. Like, that's really just what it is. And I'm gonna offer protection, but whatever. All right. That's where we're at. And when they walk out, I want to rule with respect. Now, here's the thing. I 100% can get behind Boba Fett's like, I want to rule with respect. I don't want to kill people. But you know what? You're going to have to stomp a few skulls in to get some fucking respect out of fear. I'm sorry. That's just what he doesn't do any of that. He doesn't do any of that. Like, just nothing. So then he hires a bunch of teenagers whose fucking whose mod bikes aren't even faster than speeders. Might I add you?
Yep.
Might I add you?
Yep.
I'm gonna say that one more time. Their mod bikes are not faster than speeder bikes, but yet they look 10 times more expensive when the speed bike could be like 500 credits. But let's not even.
And there, I get it that it's like you're going with a vibe or a motif, but it's stupid. Like they're super like. They're supposed to be like, you know, I don't know, like greaser, or like
more deadly than modified. They're like, bro.
But they're on a desert planet. like that's does anyone why? It'd be like, hey, we're gonna do this really nice. I'm gonna get this really nice like Lamborghini, and I'm gonna drive it around the desert.
Yeah, there's no work, daimyo. Like, bro, well, maybe
why? What? Do you have intricate mechanisms and engines, and you want dust and rocks?
Yeah, I mean, there's no
twin suns beating. Sorry, I know everyone's talked about this. It's just dumb.
They're completely stupid.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No,
I'm
selling it well. I'm selling.
I'm on Mandalorian now in my because I'm still doing the whole Star Wars
timeline.
Yeah, so I'm on.
So you did Andor.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen Andor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, we got to touch base on that after.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it's a Star Wars episode. I got so much stuff.
We're now Boba obviously gets his ass whooped. All this shit. Blah blah blah. Yeah. The twins come. The twins are okay. The twins were the Jabba twins, whatever.
Oh, the Gamorrean guards?
No, the twins, like the Hutt twins.
Oh, yeah, whatever. They're okay. Yeah,
but like, so they introduced Chrysanthemum. I actually really like Chrysanthemum. I think his character is kind of cool. Like, he actually has a whole backstory and all that shit. Like, I half-assedly listened on YouTube, and it's kind of cool. You know, he's got like the electric knuckles and everything. Whatever. Later in the episode, or like an episode later. Boba's like in the tank. Comes out of the tank. Chrysanthemum's there because there's like, and after he just got the mod guard, because there is no family guarding him. So Chrysanthemum literally beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
We're like literally, Dalton, I'm telling you, like, we're not like thrown around the room like a rag doll, punched in the face 1,000 times, and he doesn't have a scratch on him. There was literally a whole entire scene where he was like, douche to the face, and it's not, but there's nothing. The back to tank, I guess, works so well. Like, it prevents injuries now. And when a Wookiee sits there and bites your hand, I guess you don't bleed. But whatever, because that's how soft the show is. And then, you know, gets taken out by the mods. Like, it's just so, oh man, now I'm not even sure I can finish.
That's right.
God.
So they call themselves.
So all right. Let me just
keep going.
I'm just gonna fast forward. I'm just gonna fast forward to the end, because I kind of just really, it just gets so dumb and even more dumb. But the show's, it's stupid because it's so dumb. I can watch it. That's how shitty it is. It's not like it's like, oh, this is like the most entertaining, best thing. No, I'm watching it because I can just rip on it as much as possible. Okay, now,
but is there anything else worth your time more?
I can go watch some DC stuff.
Talk more about Book of Boba.
So here's my conclusion too. The Resistance sucks because they have to have
you're hitting all my points here. Okay,
great. They have to have Amy Sedaris in the episode 5. So they have and I don't even think she wanted to say the line. Like, honestly, I just looked at her body here. She's like, oh, the Pikes are here and the enforcement's too scared to do anything and blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, this line feels so forced out of your mouth right now. Like, can we just get back to the Mando stuff, please? So that just shows that the Resistance is so much of a pussy they can't take on the Syndicate, okay? Because they won't go down to Tatooine, but they'll patrol.
Yeah, the air space above it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Luke's like, he'll send his X-wing in there with just Grogu by himself, but we got grown men, or a star fleet essentially that's too scared to go to Tatooine and deal with Syndicate coming off a fucking bus.
Yeah, dude, they just show up on the train. That's right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The public the transport.
Public transport,
okay,
dude.
There's so much here to unpack.
Yeah, so in that aspect, yeah, Boba's actually doing good. He's actually doing more for the Resistance than the Resistance is being the Resistance at this point. The Resistance is so fucking stupid that they can't see that they only destroyed 20% of the Empire, and they're like, we're just going to do everything. Because apparently there's just light cruisers around, and they just don't even know where anything is. Like, it's just, the only guy who has half a brain is the pilot who's trying to ask questions about anything, who's going to have a bigger role in season 3 of Mandalorian, obviously, because he was in the trailer. But he's the only guy who's just like, it's
going to have his whole show with what's her name, but that got canceled.
God, good show. But it just shows like how, like, and hear me out. The Book of Boba Fett writers and the Mandalorian writers, they have to deal with the crap that was before them.
Sure.
They didn't have, nobody told, like, they didn't know, like, how about this? The shows were probably getting written, but then until their actual bullshit was finally finalized, they were like, fuck, dude, this is what you're leaving me with? I gotta squeeze in some cloning in the Mandalorian somehow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was nothing. So, like, sorry, there's two things here, right? Which is, so when you said the Resistance suck, I thought you actually meant like the Resistance in the movies, but you're talking about the New Republic. And the fact that there is a distinction there is a difference between those two, but you wouldn't really know it because the movies do a terrible job of explaining anything. But like, technically, the New Republic took over for the Empire, right? Or not took over, but like, you know, they defeated the Empire and we have a new government. But like, they were so adverse to like doing anything to do with politics in the new movies because everyone hated the politics in the prequels, that they don't explain anything. They literally don't explain anything. So when I totally hear what you're saying, the point of they had to kind of wait to see what was going to be set up. Nothing is set up. Nothing is established. There is no establishment of what, at least in the movies and the show, of what the fuck the Republic does. They just apparently there's a couple X-wings that fly around and be like, "Hey, you don't go so fast." But then an entire syndicate of criminals shows up and they're like, "Oh," and they leave. So it's just weird. It's just dumb.
It's like, oh god. And it sucks because they have to add the stuff in after the fact. They have to add little trickles here and there, probably per their contract with Disney.
Well, it's like
Book of Boba Fett looks just 100% like a Disney product, might I add.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Mandalorian and Andor are complete opposite of that, and Andor is just on another. It's on a darker level than Mandalorian.
Andor is on a level on its own.
It is. It really.
I haven't even watched Boba Fett, but
I was gonna say, dude, tell me you finished Andor, please. Like,
yeah. That's why I wanted to. So
Dalton didn't. I would be like, dude,
I finished
Dalton
every episode as it came out.
Let's talk. Yeah, I was the one that was.
Yeah, let's just shift.
I don't want to because if Dalton hasn't seen Book of Boba Fett, I want to. I could keep talking about it, but I want Dalton.
Fine. I have just ripped on it for the past 10 minutes straight. I think Dalton's heard enough.
Tell me about the Andor arcs. What do you think is better? The heist or the prison break?
One last thing.
No.
Book of Boba Fett, I think, definitely isn't as pop to see because they only stay on Tatooine. Whereas Andor and Mandalorian are going from planet to planet, seeing different places, which is a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Because the desert planet is fucking great cinema. Okay.
Well,
Dalton.
Yeah. Okay. Dalton.
Oh, it's questions to me.
Yeah.
I like the prison break.
Yeah. Right. I didn't think I was gonna. I was like, well, the heist is the best thing. This is super cool.
Right.
And then the prison break was like, what is this?
Whenever he got in prison, I'm like, well, fuck, how is he gonna get out of this? You know, I didn't expect it to be the rest of the season, but it was so well played, just how everything flowed together, and
they definitely drew me in. I think episode 7 was kind of like the least eventful episode. It was more politic or more scheming, and I think that's when he went to the jail. And when he got it, I was like, man, this is how they're gonna play this. I mean, it's not a bad episode, it's still good, but let's just see. So they kind of like drew me in, and they exceeded my expectations like dramatically. Yep. And obviously I love Andy Serkis, so
yep. That ending with him where he said he can't swim, I literally was like, oh, like cried a little bit. I was like, oh no. I was watching it with my family, and I was just like, oh, it's so sad. Oh, that's so sad.
I think he would just get pushed off though.
Yeah, then he would drown. He can't swim. I mean,
at that point, like, there's so many people coming. I feel like, there might be something more with him, or maybe that's just part of the or maybe that's just part of the sadness of Andor, the realism.
It could be. I don't think you bring in that amazing of a character in and not have him come back. But it could be. That's what I liked about Andor. Was just like,
not even give him like an actual death.
Mm-mm.
Because they can. Well, some people can just love the show so much they'll just do a cameo. They'll do like cameo episode, but also Serkis is in for an arc, so that is a lot different. Program. Oh,
I still love my favorite scene was the TIE fighter though, and like when they're getting prepped for the heist.
Yeah, dude, it was terrifying. It was like one TIE fighter, and you're like, what? Oh, yeah. That was really good.
Because it was cool to see the TIE fighter and that perspective, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're always seeing him in space, attacking things or whatever. But to see him kind of just like patrol around this planet,
yeah,
was badass.
But TIE fighters don't have hyperdrive systems, do they?
They do not. That's why you see them.
But Vader's does.
Vader's does, yeah. TIE advances do. Defenders do.
But so, all right. Oh, dude, here's just a really good question about just Star Wars space combat. don't have hyperdrive systems. You have X-wings that do. So theoretically, if you're not putting a hyperdrive system on a TIE fighter, it should just be faster than an X-wing.
Yeah, TIE fighters are
but
more
in
maneuverable.
Star Wars, just because something's faster, I've never really see anybody catching up on anybody or gaining. It's always like they're always like, it's the fastest ship in the world, but they're always They're always like 3 car lengths behind. So I'm like, is there any point to your ship being faster? Because if we're all going the same, does it just become skill and maneuverability at that point?
Yeah, don't think of it, even though they should be faster, don't think of it as speed, think of it as maneuverability, right? Like their ability to turn quickly. Yeah. So it's like you have like the Millennium Falcon where it might be faster, but it's a big freighter, right? So it's just like, and like I think you had one of your questions like, how big is Slave One? Where it's just like this is a big ship that like it might be fast, but it's just like you can just see it like it takes a while to turn. But a TIE fighter is just like, and so it's just like in the hands of an expert pilot, super maneuver. So you're just like,
yeah,
that's where your offensive and defensive capabilities are.
Okay.
Gotcha. But yeah, they don't have hyperdrives, and they don't even have life support in the ship. So like, you know how like you see in an X-wing or all the Rebel ships,
yeah,
right? They have their helmets on, but they have like they're not covered up, right? Because their cabin has air in it. The Millennium Falcon has air in it. But the TIE fighter pilots, there is no air in their cockpits. That's why they wear those masks, because
but Moff Gideon's TIE fighter
special. Yeah. any commander, it's like you got to assume that they got.
It's
his has like the folding wings and all that bullshit. Yeah.
The Moff. I do like Moff Gideon. Well, I like Giancarlo's character anyway. He just talks well.
All the Star Wars talk is getting me excited. Maybe we should spend some time in this universe playing a game.
Do it.
Let's talk about Dalton. You're going through all of the Star Wars things chronologically.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. What did you I think you've talked about, you started with episode 1?
Yeah. I started with episode 1. And then went to the 3, and then I did Clone Wars.
The whole series. Did you watch Clone Wars in chronological order?
Yeah, I looked it up which Clone Wars to watch, which I think was cool because then, what was it with like the 5s, right?
Yeah,
you actually get to like be introduced to the 5s instead of sporadically, and then so you like, to me, you make a connection with them before they die.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
And literally when because that's like one of the very first episodes is that like the end of all that stuff, and I was like, what? And then they went back and was like, no, didn't that get
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you watch Solo.
Let's watch Solo. Of course I watched Solo.
I guess it'd be episode 3, then it's Solo. Or was there something in between that?
What was it? Well, no, so there was 3, Bad Batch, and then Solo.
Yeah. And so you're on Mandalorian. So you went all through all the regular movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I tried to do Rebels, but I don't know. It was
That's fine. Yeah. You're okay.
I got the first half season.
Episode.
I watched the episodes with Ahsoka and Darth Maul, or excuse me, Darth Vader, and then where Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul. So I watched all the
cool
important stuff.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. And that's been fun. You've enjoyed it. When did you start that?
I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, fucking forever ago.
Yeah.
I gotta try to remember. I think it's cool perspective because, I was never like huge into Star Wars, so I didn't know. Don't get me. I liked it, but it was cool watching all of that stuff, and then watching the Clone Wars, and then. When I say huge into Star Wars, I mean like I didn't know like TIE Fighter didn't have hyperdrive. So anyway, JARdon the mess.
That's good.
He gone.
Oh wow.
No, that's cool.
I think you're taking it out of context.
Maybe I am, but no, that's cool. That's exciting. That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
Then one last Star Wars related question that I had on here is Slave One and Boba Fett ship, also now known as just Boba Fett ship, because I think everyone realized, this is a weird name for ship and it's inappropriate, so they just don't call it that anymore.
Really?
Yeah. There's like this big thing about how you can't call it that, and so it's just referred to as Boba Fett ship on all the new toys.
Nice.
Because it's never said in any of the movies, and it's never really said any of the stuff.
Here's another reason why I think they made Boba Fett a lot more soft, because he's probably the easiest guy that's marketable towards kids as a character from the original Star Wars.
Like, yeah, but he was cool in the originals because he was this mysterious.
I know.
And everyone's like, he didn't really.
But that's why they have it with one. That's why they have the Gen Zers or Gen Xers or whatever they fucking are. Those mod bikes. Like the guy with the fucking eye, bro, is so stupid. It's so dumb. Like he literally looks up and you can see in his, the camera angle is supposed to be perceived his eyes. He looks up, he can see them right there, but you know what? Let's just do this. Hey, they're there. I'm like, bro, like you could have told me that like 3 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But now I'm wasting energy explaining to you that you could have told me that.
In the time that you could have saved us, maybe the Gamorreans would be alive, but no.
And the fact that the show was so soft that they had to use the Gamorreans. I mean, granted, they had the big mass murder, but they had to use the Gamorreans as the only people of his family to die. So
yeah,
lame.
So the family thing is an interesting element, right? Because I know it's like dynasty, right? It's like his crime family. But I'm calling this. No, I don't want to say that because I hate when people say, I'm calling this. Here's a thought. Here's something for your thought processes. If they ever do a Book of Boba Fett 2, but if they did, he's going to clone himself, just like Jango cloned him, but he's going to do an accelerated clone, and then it's going to be the guy that played young Boba Fett in in episode 2, now super like our age ish or maybe younger, I don't know, whatever role he was, and at that point that's going to be his actual family.
So, do you know something we don't?
No, this is when you said, hey, he's got a family, I was like, well, this is what just went in my head. So,
and I just think back to the Mandalorian episode when he meets up with Bo-Katan. That was such a great episode.
It meets up with Ahsoka.
Are you guys excited for the Ahsoka show?
I'm excited. I became all right. Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh God, here it comes.
Ahsoka really, it was fucking annoying in the first like 3 seasons of Clone Wars. Okay, Master. I just thought it was weird. I'm watching a child show.
Yes.
And I'm watching a child show. The girl literally sounds like a fucking child. It was weird to me.
Yeah.
It was
for me.
I kept hearing Master, bro. It was weird. It was weird. Let's just get through that. That's why it was very awkward for me. I'm like, okay. Yes. They kept calling her like Snips.
But the thing, the thing that made me the most more than all of that was when she would just call R2D2 R2E. And I was just like, R2E. Anyway, sorry, continue.
So
I liked it.
After she was betrayed. She felt like she was betrayed by whatever, Vader or Anakin, and they kind of just wrote her ass off like after like season 5 or something. Like she just wasn't in season 6.
Yeah, because it's like you have to. She's not in Revenge of the Sith, so they have to like
explain. So and what's the crazy thing is that they put like so much emphasis on her character, and she's not in Star Wars for shit, which is kind of wild to think about. Like she's not in
Rebels.
Well, I mean, she's not in like the 9 movies.
The main one,
yeah. Star Wars. Return of the Jedi, best movie ever. Well, but all right. But So seeing that and seeing as they what's a Rosario-Dawson, I'm like, whatever. I'm not because everybody's like, you're. I'm like, eh. And then the Tales of the Jedi comes out. And I'm not gonna lie, this kind of like this just swayed my whole entire like opinion because it was like the coolest scene I've ever seen from her character. So like Tales of the Jedi is okay, by the way, but like the last episode where they go back and the episode's only like 15 minutes long, so and they go back and then like the whole village is burning and everybody's dead, and the fucking Sith Lord is like, where is she? What the fuck? Where like you know? And she comes up and like it was just the coolest thing because like it was just a very cool scene scenario. She's like, all right, I guess I gotta step up. Like it was like that thing. I was like, all right, like you're forcing me out of retirement essentially. I don't want to fucking fight. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to kick your ass now.
Yeah.
That was basically what it was. And then fucking she cuts his head off, and I'm like, it was supposed to be a children's show. And then what is it? And this is where I hate to say Dave Filoni, like, yeah, he comes in pretty good with the animated shit. And then she goes, meets back up with the Alderaan guy. He's like, oh, are you ready to fight? I'm ready to get back in the fight. You're like, oh shit, it's about to hit the ceiling. And then, you know, fast forward to Mandalorian, battle tested, adult, mature, not saying master, and apparently trying to do some good, but also how much good can you do? Or how much can you save? There's not much left to save, but we'll keep pushing. But also, this is before fucking The Force Awakens and 8 and 9.
Yeah, well, that's the curious. So that was always the curious thing for me, right? Because I knew that they were going to bring Grogu back, Baby Yoda, into Mandalorian. Because why would you not? At the same point, I was like, man, it's a bold move. It's a bold move that is like, hey, we're going to send it off. And it goes back to where I feel like the fact that Disney didn't plan, the fact that Disney as a company didn't plan this out boggles my mind to no end. Here's what I mean. Episode 8, right? Episode Force Awakens, the Jedi have been gone, blah, 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 blah. Luke Skywalker's in hiding. You're like, what? That's weird. Episode 8, we find out. It's because he, as in Luke, was like, oh, I sense darkness in my nephew. So I'm going to pull my lights. I have a moment of weakness, which everybody does. But, Luke Skywalker, the paragon of good, pulls out his lightsaber and is about to, like, murder, potentially, right? Thinking about it. Ben Solo's like, whoa. And then, like, brings the building down and murders everyone in the Jedi Academy. Right? And Luke's like, I failed, and that's it, and the Jedi need to end, blah, 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 blah. Whatever your stance is, some people are like, oh, it's bold, it's fresh, that's the approach they need to take. Other people are like, this is dumb, this is stupid. It boggles my mind that Disney approved this for the mindset that they essentially killed off the idea of having a Luke Skywalker Jedi Academy kids show where you could have like toddler, like what it could be anything. It could be like a kid show, but like young kids training, and then you can like merchandise that shit. Everybody's watching like kid shows. It could be like Mickey Mouse Club, but like Jedis, and we're like in this. It's basically Hogwarts, but for Jedi. You get your cool academy that and so you go to Disneyland. You get to go to the thing, and you don't because right now, if they did that, it would be the darkest shit ever. Because all of the kids that you see in that show get killed in episode 8, or in what is Ben Solo murders them all, except for the few that he takes with it. So like when they sent Grogu there, I was like, oh my gosh, are they saying that like Grogu, unless something happens, Grogu's gonna get murdered by Ben Solo?
That's an interesting
in the academy,
thing. That's
right?
So bad.
But he leaves and he doesn't even go there. But like they can't do anything with that, or I feel like it's going to be a really hard sell to do that, because anything that you do there it's going to get destroyed and murdered. You could do it after the fact, I guess, but they're not Jedi because so I guess it could be like Rey's force using school of hard knocks. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. So it's like, so when you see these, sorry to bring it all back, right? We see these, Ahsoka talking to Luke as he's building this academy. It's cool. Yeah, you're not seeing her be like, she has time. She's had all these terrible things that have happened to see. It's like, but all right, go take your academy. But she's not there, so she's not going to get killed when this whole thing happens. But like anything that they show is going to build up to the fact that like it's all going to get destroyed, which is just a bizarre,
Yeah. So I did have that moment when I was watching Mandalorian, like season 2. I was thinking about it. I was like, or whatever. So eventually, however this is going to play out, like I don't know what the timeline. So it's got to be at least 30 years. It has to be at least 30 years from the time of, because Ben Solo, I perceive to be it's like 28.
Yeah, I think it's about 30 between the end of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
So like by this point, there's that potential where it could be like Mandalorian could literally be the very last episode of the series finale could be just him retiring and Grogu being somewhat of like a teenager.
And but Grogu's like 100 years. He's super old.
Yeah, but he'll be 80 at that point. 80-year-old teenager.
Sure. Got it.
Yeah. He'll be an 80-year-old teenager, and it's kind of like, okay, like that's how I'm kind of viewing it. Like, I can't see them killing off Mandalorian at this point. They're obviously not bringing Grogu. Like everybody wrote all this stuff, and I feel like they took a blender of just Star Wars shit from everywhere, and we meshed it into the episodes like 8 and 9, and we didn't really leave a lot for anything to go further, but we can make a bunch of shit in between because we already know. But anything that's new in between, it's kind of like,
yeah, but that's the problem that you have with what you were talking about with the New Republic. What do? They have some X-Wings that patrol, but like we never see it because we have nothing that takes place there because politics are gross and scary. We don't want that in our Star Wars. But if you don't define anything, then you don't know, right? The Empire is like the Empire, but like we can see it through everything. We're like, all right, they're like Andor, we see like this interesting side of it, but we know that it's a threat and they're controlling everything. They're doing all this stuff. The New Republic's like, what the Old Republic? Same thing. We know about them a little bit way more because of the politics, but it's just like it's a governing body. They have all these planets, but there's still these things. There's a separatist. There's all this different stuff. Cool. I can understand the contextualization of that time period. So if we were going to do a story, and I was like, hey guys, we're going to do JARdon the Mess because Dalton's character's on fire in Lord of the Rings and he's going to die. We got to do Star Wars. And I could be like, we're going to do it in the prequel series, right? Both of you would be like, huh, okay. Well, I know what the Old Republic looks like. So I'm going to make like, we don't have to, you would understand what that means. And I could even go, hey, we're going to do the Clone Wars. You can understand what the Clone Wars means. Oh, hey, we're going to do the original movie. We're going to do classic era, right? And like I can explain that, and it's structured enough so you understand what like what's happening at the galaxy as a whole, but it's also open enough that you can tell whatever story you want, and it's totally fine. That's why I like Andor, because it's like, cool, we're still using the Empire, we're still doing these things, but it's like a really interesting story in here that's not. I don't have to follow a Jedi. There can be a movie, there can be a show that has no Force users in, and it's okay. But then I go to the sequel section, and I'm like, explain this shit to me. We want to tell a story here. You'd be like, I wouldn't know what to do because I haven't read any of the books and done all these things. I'm just basing off the movies and some of the auxiliary stuff. I don't know what I don't know what the New Republic does. I don't really know what the First Order does. Are they around? They have this crazy base, but like they have all these ships with Exegol. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, then they attack, and like in the end of episode 8, they make a call out to the galaxy and no one shows up. But then the very next movie, everyone shows up. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know how to tell a story in this because it's so vague, because they don't want to provide concrete details because that's scary and that's a risk because you have to commit to something. So it's much easier to be like, well, we know what happens here and we know what happens here. And like, that's the problem. When you say, what does the New Republic do? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I thought it was on Coruscant, I guess, but it's not. But because that planet gets blown up, right? In sorry, this is my tangent, but that's sorry, it's triggered.
I was gonna say, like, bro, did they kill like 5 billion people?
No, because that's not Coruscant. That's the part that's stupid. They want to make it look like it's Coruscant, and I'm like, I was like, wow, J.J. Abrams has the balls.
I was gonna ask, like,
blow up Coruscant.
Right?
This is a thing that we've literally seen for all of this, for all the movies, and for thousands and thousands of years before, and they blew it up. That's crazy. Shock value. I don't know. Like, I wish we would have had more context, but like, whatever. You do the research. No. See, that wasn't Coruscant. That was Hassan Prime or some shit like that. I'm like, fuck you. What is that? What do you mean? Well, after the New Republic came to power, they realized that you couldn't have everything on Coruscant anymore because it wasn't fair. So every couple of years, they rotate the government to like a new planet. Okay, in my head, I go, that's canon. That's the actual thing. So that the planet that you saw get blown up isn't Coruscant. It's a completely different thing, right? But they made it look like it to trick your brain. So if they had done it and it was like it was like Naboo or something like that, or some other planet, you're like, wait, what? Oh, crazy. What is that? Tell me more.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to deep dive to get this information. And I get it. You don't want all of this stuff jammed in your sci-fi pop, corn action flick. I get it. The same point, like there is no world building. You can't just take the things that you want. The fact that like they shot, oh my God, the fact that they shot the super laser from a planet to another planet, right? How does that work? Oh, they were using hyperspace technology. Oh, they shot a super laser cannon through hyperspace to blow it up. That's why everyone could see it from wherever they're at. I'm like, okay, like that's dumb. That's just dumb. I'm sorry, that's just dumb to me. But whatever. Mm-hmm. But you've built a super weapon on a planet, not a battle station. As much as you can sit there and say the Death Star stupid, they should have put the resources in 1,000 stars for super star destroyers, and that'd been way more efficient. I agree. But at least it's literally a mobile station that can move around the galaxy, right? We see it. It moves to Jeddah, blows up that city, moves to Alderaan, it's mobile. Tell me what the fuck Starkiller Base is supposed to do, because it sucks the energy out of the fucking sun. What does it do when the sun is gone? It can't move. You've built it on a planet. It doesn't do anything. So like, yes, you get the shock and awe of blowing up, let's say what, 1, 2, 5, 10 planets. Again, we saw the thing spread out because you fired a beam through fucking hyperspace, and somehow in hyperspace the energy beam broke apart. All right, whatever. What does Starkiller Base do? Like, hey, you're done. All right, cool. You've destroyed a bunch of our planets. You're dicks now. We all hate you, but like, there's nothing to fear now because your base has no resource to fire. The Death Star just keeps floating around. That's terrifying. But what do I know?
Hey, but good thing it was only one movie. They only needed the planet for one movie. Good thing.
Yeah, exactly. They did.
My biggest question, for actually you, Bert.
I've talked enough.
Is I'm just gonna lay it out, and you don't have to respond. We just move on to another topic. It's just what happened after the Death Star was blown up in Return of the Jedi, and the New Republic somewhat takes over, and then so what happened in that 30-year span where all of a sudden we need a resistance?
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Again, it's a thing that's not fucking explained. All right. You have the resistance, and it's run by Princess Leia.
Because the resistance is a resistance. What are
they resisting? They are resisting the First Order. The First Order are the remnants of the Empire They went into the unknown regions. They think of it like the Nazis escaping to Argentina, and then they built a giant army, and then came back into like.
It's amazing that with spaceships they couldn't fly over there and destroy those.
Yes, well, they went into the unknown zone, or they so whatever, but like then they reemerged, and like there is a Cold War between the New Republic and the First Order, right? Like they both are at they understand that they're opposed to each other, but they aren't in like an open conflict. So Princess Leia is like, I'll make the Resistance. The Resistance isn't the Republic because you don't have to worry. It's basically their Black Ops group, right? They're like, hey, we aren't technically the Republic. We're the Resistance. So like, we're going to go fight the First Order, but don't worry. It's technically not the Republic declaring war on the First Order.
So stupid.
So they go do the thing. They're funded by the Republic. The Republic sends them the ships and the resources and all that stuff. But there's this separate entity that have ties. They're basically a front, but like they're out there and fighting. And the First Order is like, well, this is stupid, but they hate them. So they fight the Resistance. But deep down, they know that the Resistance is being funded by the Republic, so they view them as the same. But like that's why there's technically these two separate things, but it doesn't deep down, is there something there that you could tell maybe an interesting story with? Sure, I guess, but it's never explained to me in a way. It's so confusing, and they all use the same freaking blue logos as the Republic guys that I'm seeing. So I'm like, what is the
and here's another question, like like where exactly did the Resistance or New Republic actually crumble and fail? They must have failed before the first movie because the final
they're
order
still there. But they're like, not. They're inefficient. They're ineffective.
It just makes no sense. So, like, we're just seeing the end of a war, essentially.
No, we're seeing a war. We're seeing
the end of a shitty war.
No, what we're seeing is kind of. I don't know how to. What we're seeing is it's a Cold War. So think the Republic is America. The First Order is Soviet Russia. They are fundamentally opposed at each other. But instead of fighting each other in an actual conflict, right? They have all these proxy wars, right? So like, oh, cool. The Resistance is fighting this little conflict over here, right? And oh, cool. The Resistance is fighting this little. They're fighting the First Order, but they're doing it like, hey, we officially haven't attacked you. We're in the because that would be catastrophic. But we're seeing at the beginning of the Force Awakens is the First Order being like, fuck this, we're going to war with them because we hate them and they're the same, and we're breaking this Cold War. It's now turning into like an actual, and they do it by nuking them with the Starkiller base.
Yeah. Okay.
Nuking them to the point where God damn it.
So basically,
here's the part that's so stupid. It's like the Force Awakens happens and it ends, and literally the Last Jedi begins, right? Like they start immediately. So that entire thing that happens is over the span of a couple days, 3 days, 7 days, however much time. It's not long, because while the Resistance is running out of goddamn fuel in their ship, Rey's off training cough with Luke, right? So it's not a lot of time. There's some suspension of disbelief. There's not a lot of time, but it's not a lot. So by the end of that, they end up on not Hoth, Salt Planet, and they make a call. They're like, hey, we're here and we need help. And the entire galaxy goes, nope, we're done. They won. No, nobody's coming to help you. So whatever happened, literally, the Republic, their main planet gets destroyed, and 7 days later, or whatever it is, let's just say it's 2 weeks, a month, whatever, because again, it's those two movies, the entire galaxy has literally just been like, we give up, First Order wins, the Republic's gone, I guess, we're destroyed. It's crazy to think how inefficient that government was. Like, I get it. If Washington, D.C. got nuked, America would be like, what the fuck happened? And it would take us a while to like get our shit together. But there are like contingency plans. But I imagine like even if DC got nuked, we lost all of our government. Like as a country, still hopefully we're still like, and then we got invaded, we'd be like forming like an actual like resistance and coherent fronts, and like it would go from like the resistance is like guerrilla warfare, people like Red Dawn stuff, but there would actually be an army that's being sent and like things, an organization. Just the entire galaxy is just like, hey man, that's too scary. The First Order wins, because then by episode 9, which is what, a year later, finally there's like a time gap. The First Order owns everything. They're like in control of everything. We see them like marching through their cities and doing all this stuff. I'm like, all right, then why do I need this Sith army? That's the part that doesn't fucking make any sense. Why is Kylo Ren so hot to trot to get these like Star Destroyers from like decrepit vat baby emperor when they already control everything? Like, what do you? I don't understand. But the thing is, I don't understand. I'm sure there's an explanation, but it's not done in a way where I'm like, that makes sense, right?
I have a question.
Fuck. God,
I have a question.
Damn. Yeah, please. Someone else talk.
Why is Jar Jar Binks a Sith Lord?
He is a Sith Lord. I think so.
100%. You can't convince me otherwise.
Do you want to explain this for our one listener that might not know?
I don't know. There's a lot to explain, which I don't think I can explain.
Give us the very distilled version.
Still, Jesus. I'm gonna use that one.
How would I explain it? Like, I don't know. From whatever I've seen, like the people who argue it or whatever, he's always manipulating people. He's playing dumb. He's actually like killing a bunch of people. What was it? Episode 1, whenever he jumps from the bridge or whatever they jump from. How did he get from one point jump to the other spot? So fast.
Force powers. Yeah. It's like drunken master, right?
Right.
He is bumbling on purpose, and has mastered the art of this. Like, because he's just so lucky.
Yeah.
It's the point where it's just like, dude, you're not lucky. He's
how
using
you
the
always
force.
kill it. Like, how did you kill all these droids and everything by fumbling around?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like he's the one that's not secretly, but like, the whole thing is like, oh, I'm so dumb. I was manipulated to give Emperor or Chancellor Palpatine powers. No, he knew what he was doing. He's like, yeah, it's good. He's actually the secret Sith, and like he did all these things to make sure that like Anakin interacted with Qui-Gon, but then also made sure that Qui-Gon died, and like. Annie. Yeah,
that's some crazy scenario, bro.
Dude, it's like
that's some crazy shit to think about. Like,
did you ever like watch any of the videos or people explain it?
It's but I might tomorrow. Fuck, my delivery got canceled. Shit.
And then why is the Naboo always so like?
He's always so lucky
of him or whatever, but
he's always so lucky.
He does that like triple jump or whatever into the water.
Yeah, it's like that's the freaking okay.
Well,
cool,
dude, well, the episode in Clone Wars, doesn't he go on a killing spree in the name of love?
Yes. Yeah.
And he just miraculously can kill everybody in the name of love.
That Jar Jar gets a girlfriend episode. Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't the girlfriend didn't they shoot Jar Jar up to play a Jedi? And then he ended up just slaying everybody like a Jedi anyway.
Because
that's kind of all right. Here's what dude, hear me out. If the Jedi are so like the Jedi, here's where I think the Jedi are fucking stupid. They're getting murked by everybody. Why not just pick up a goddamn blaster and use your Jedi skills to kill everybody from a longer range and just get it the fuck done? Or you just have to deflect everything and be like. Obviously, we saw Obi-Wan kill Grievous, like, oh, so primitive. Yeah, but you did it with one shot.
Yeah. Yeah. All this like,
it's like oh fuck.
Yeah. I know it's for the story, but I hate like movies sometimes like this where the Jedi are supposed to be so, great and all this stuff. But yeah, it's so hard for them to take down like one single person. And I know it's for the story, and it wouldn't make such a great story if they would just kill Palpatine fucking easy, but
But I think Palpatine just so this is where I like Palpatine a lot. Like you need to he positions himself extremely well politically, positions himself he's like a salesman, bro. That's why you gotta look at the sales. You gotta respect that sale. He positions himself so well around everyone, manipulates the situation to sell this idea. And then obviously recognizes Anakin Skywalker's ability. All right, well, I don't want to use that word, the G word, but yeah, let me just groom you. Like, I'm going to groom you to be, I'm going to groom you to be what you can't be, which is me, but I'm going to groom you to be the best version of you.
Yeah.
Which, it's just his character is really good. I think about that saying, like, I am the Senate.
I
like,
am the Senate.
Fuck. He
Also,
is the Senate, bro. He owns everything.
Jar Jar is always around Senator Palpatine.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Always true. So there are some.
That is so wild. Watch, like George Lucas comes out. Actually,
the show we want.
That is it.
The theory is it was actually something that Lucas the theory. I'm not saying this is real. The theory is it actually is something that Lucas had set the groundwork for in episode 1, because I think there's even a scene where it's just like, when Mace Windu and Yoda are like talking over the funeral of Qui-Gon, like where they're burning him, and he's like, always two there are, and he's like, yes, a master and apprentice. Who did we kill? The master of the apprentice. And Jar Jar is right next to Palpatine. Like, I think he doesn't have a hood, but I think he might. It doesn't. Maybe I'm projecting, but he's right next to Palpatine. Like the camera's like, oh, it's Palpatine, but like Jar Jar's right next to him. So the theory goes, it was something that Lucas was actually setting up as like a big thing, but there was just so much negative backlash towards how much people hated Jar Jar Binks that he was just like, well, fuck all of you. I'm going to put him in here so goddamn much, scrapping that idea. And I'm just going to make you hate him? Here you go. And he just shoved him in there.
I don't think it would have worked at the time because obviously we hate him, but now like the way that you bring it back, you're like, you can only be so lucky. Like, that shit's hilarious to me. I'm like, bro, if he was really like, it was me, got him. Like, it would have been better than the last 8 and 9. or fucking have Jar Jar just walk out of the shadows, like, good or good. All right, we got a discussion topic. I mean, it's a solid.
I have one, and it is not Star Wars one. So if you're listening, you're like, God, when are they gonna stop talking about Star Wars? Here it is. Dalton had the most amazing discussion point, which is consuming a beverage around the time of a meal. Do you do it during the meal or do you do it after the meal? That's the setup. Dalton, you want to give us more details and or context?
So for me, I don't know what it is, but like I have to be drinking while I'm eating. Like, I'll take a couple bites, take a sip or something. My wife, she will like finish her meal and then drink. Like, I can't do that. So yeah, I was just curious. That's about it. I mean, it's not much more detail than that.
Notes, bro. Like, oh fuck. All right, so I'm like Dalton. I like to drink water throughout the meal. Obviously, I'm just shoveling food in my face. It just helps things go down easier. Obviously,
we wouldn't think anything less.
But I will not drink alcohol with a meal at all. Ever.
I can't do that.
It's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, I understand. Like, whenever I go out with beers, like I can eat like after. But if you, there's been so many times I've ordered a meal and just got a beer because I'm with the boys and with the bros. I drink like 3 sips or like I maybe finish half, and I'm just doing it just to like save face at that point.
Yeah,
like I don't even like, because I don't know. It's just like it gets me too bloated, or I'm too full at that point, or I need the food to digest a little faster.
For me, it's just not as like good. The best I can explain is it doesn't complement food.
It doesn't.
Very
It does
well to
not.
me.
It does. I don't think
Wine to me does complement a meal.
I can give you wine.
I'll give you wine, but any other alcohol,
But-
I just don't. I'm
yeah,
gonna argue.
Beer, I feel really full really fast,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm forcing myself to drink.
You're drinking
Like, I
just
can
more
drink
yeast, or
I can drink half of
whatever
it and then I'm
hops.
over it, and I'm like forcing myself to drink the rest.
You're like, well, this Blue Moon tastes great with this rack of ribs. Does it?
It does not. Give me.
Can I
I
just
don't
get
care.
a water? Because
Give me a Sprite. I'd love like a
Some fucking Pepsi or Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Or give me
give me. I need.
Blast.
I need like the little napkins that go nowhere, and I just want to keep. I need a straw. I want to be like this.
Yeah.
Oh god, man, maybe some ribs would be good. Damn.
We have ribs.
Yeah, but like I just can't do the alcohol. I can snack on chips or pretzels and drink, but that's about it. And that's usually I'm at a bar and I'm just getting wasted and I need to start coming back to life somehow before it gets too bad. I can always eat after the alcohol. I just can't eat during. If I eat during, I think I have this mental mentality in my head or mental block. It's like it's gonna get me I'm gonna be very like awake but drunk. Like I'm coherent but I'm drunk because I've got something absorbing the alcohol in my system, but it's still there. But I'm also eating it or drinking it at the same time. So like and I've had those feelings where I've been so like flush and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
But what about yourself, Bert?
Yeah, I tend to be I tend to eat if I have a beverage with me, I'll sip on it while I'm eating, but for the most part I'll be like eat my food and then I use the beverage to like flush it all down the pipe. So I tend to eat and then drink. So I'm not with Dalton.
If I'm at a restaurant, I could have like 2 glasses of water because like it needs to go
I drink
down.
a lot.
I drink a lot of water. It's a lot of water.
Well,
so I mean, we're only
we're
buck 15 over.
We're in.
Do we want to? I mean,
I would like to do one thing for sure.
Murder me.
A couple rolls for sure, and depending on how those rolls go, we might be a good time to call it, and then we figure out a longer term strategy.
I will be gone next weekend.
Well,
I leave the 26th.
The perfect time for Randy and I to do
back till the
to do an episode talking about Star Wars. Then
you guys can do a whole
you come back the what day?
The 7th.
And are you coming down here?
No, we're going on a cruise.
Nice.
Where you going?
The Bahamas.
Jinx, you owe me a fucking soda and whoa.
You owe me a Coke.
There was lag, so it didn't count.
I want
Bahamas.
you to record other families fighting each other over Coors Light, please.
Deal.
And over buffet food and ranch.
Actually,
I'm like Dalton. Like I'm almost like if I could put odds on it, you're gonna see a fight.
There's also a 24-hour pizzeria that I'm really excited about.
Is there a casino?
Yes.
Do you know which is it? Princess Cruise?
Carnival.
Okay, yeah, Carnival. I think I've done Carnival. There's a 24-hour pizza thing. I one of those was on my ship, and I definitely took advantage of it. Like it was it was like midnight, and I was like, I'm gonna go get a pizza, and I just like left to go get a pizza. It's great. The other one is hopefully it's not broken. There is a soft serve machine somewhere on the ship. It's normally by the pool. So like, and that's 24 hours too. So I'd just be like, after I got like drinking or like a cigar, we would smoke cigars. It'd be like, all right, cool. Pizza, midnight pizza, cigar, and then like you finish it with like a big thing of ice cream that you take back. Perfect.
So excited.
Yeah.
I've never done a cruise before, so
yeah.
I've not done a cruise, but I'm going fucking either it's this year I'm gonna go somewhere, probably not, but probably really have to get established. But next year, fucking dude.
Let's freaking do it.
Like I might
New Zealand.
My friend
I'm gonna have a lot of like off camera. Yeah, it's like
Well, you're still on
from
camera.
what I was to where it is, it's stupid.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'll say this.
My tax guys are like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
Like, how are you? What?
I will say this then. No, I take that back. I don't know.
Where do we want to go? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
tell
wanna
me,
go.
tell me where you want to meet, and I want to keep it in the States. How
You know
about
you
that?
you know you should
That's
do.
what. Okay.
They have these trips to where like you put a budget, you say how much you want to spend, you say like what your kind of activities you like, and you kind of do like this little questionnaire, and they will actually plan a trip for you, and you don't know where you're going until the day of.
So you're saying that you don't need a trip planner. You just need to roll the dice and shoot and just
hire me. I'll be your travel agent.
Let's just do JARdon the Mess from Hawaii.
Dude, I fucking when I planned our trip to Puerto Vallarta for me and my boy Dan, it was so easy. I just did everything through Expedia. It's like, you want to go here? Sure. You want to ride quads? Okay.
Let's loop around.
But I will. Here's the only problem. Yeah, like the directions are terrible.
Can we
like when you're in another country? I don't know where the fuck that is. Like, how do I get there? If your Uber guy drops you off the wrong block and you're like a block, I don't know that read the streets.
Bert, can we revisit the JARdon the Mess episode in Hawaii?
Yes, I'd like to do that.
I'm down. I've never been. Everybody else I know has been.
I'm very much. What? You've been?
Me?
Yeah.
I've never been in Hawaii.
Okay, so then this is 100% happening. We're not going to revisit this. We're going to revisit it with purpose.
Revisit, aka planet.
So I want you to do. I remember what I was going to ask you, Dalton. So if you're going to be gone for this long time,
yes,
even though we've literally been gone for forever, and so it doesn't really matter. So you don't really need to do this. But for the sake of transparency for our listeners, what I need you to do is just record some random lines of you responding to things.
Okay.
So that we can record an episode, and then we'll just like put you. Yeah, that's a good one. And then like you'll rant at some point, and we will respond, and we'll be like, "Oh wow, Dalton, that's crazy."
I'll record some super vague response. Be like, I liked it.
That'd be awesome.
They'll just
that would be gold. That would be gold.
That's great. Well, then, unfortunately, though, Dalton, do you have a D20 with you?
I do. I have lots of D20s.
Right.
So Hogwarts comes out February 10th, and then Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom comes out May 10th, I think.
Wait, Bert, are you gonna play
Breath of the Wild?
No, Harry Potter.
No.
No, he's not gonna play that. He's not gonna play that shit.
I've never really experienced Harry Potter, and then specifically with the whole like, what's her name? Who wrote it?
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling just going like psycho nuts. I'm good. That's a hard pass for me. But
I'm gonna play it because it's an open world fucking game, and I need entertainment.
Okay. Can I tell you the state? Can I tell everyone the State of Decay story?
Yes.
Okay. While you're getting a D20 out, you got a D20 out. So State of Decay, we've talked about it before. I'll go into the detailed rant about the differences between State of Decay 1 and State of Decay 2 and why I like 1 more. However, I like 2 because now I get to play with Randy. But
it was hard for me to like talk and try to play the
focus
because there's a lot of
so much shit.
There's so much technical shit.
It's an open world game set in a zombie apocalypse. You have a group of survivors, and you have to like build up your camp. And so the idea is like you go out to different buildings to raid supplies and food and stuff, and you bring it back, and you use those resources to like build up your base. And depending on what you build, it's different stuff. So like I just moved my base, and I took over this old like it's like a truck diner and like a truck stop. So I like fenced it all off. So I have like building up like a power generator. Yeah. This is great. And a generator means we have like energy throughout the entire day, but it makes noise. It draws more zombies. So it's like a survival game. And it's super fun. Again, I'll go into the differences between the two next episode. But the second one is cool because you can play together. So I joined Randy's thing, and it's like middle of the night. He's just like, fuck, all right, I gotta go like do this thing. So we're like sneaking our way through the forest, and we're like trying to find all these buildings. It's already been pretty picked clean because Randy's already like looted most of the buildings around his base. We have to go like farther and farther out. But I join, and he's just like, all right, fuck, I gotta do this mission. I gotta go talk to these guys that like stole something from somebody. I gotta go. Come with me, right? So we get there, and there's three, and these are NPCs. So it's not real people, but there's like three humans there, not zombies, humans, and they're all like strapped. And Randy's like, all right, what? Oh, I gotta go talk to him. I was like, all right, well, are you like, how are you gonna talk to them? Are you gonna like try and talk your way through this, or are you gonna shoot him? He's like, I don't know yet. And then like we go in, and like we get in there, and I'm like, what are you gonna do, Randy? And he's just like, yeah, dude. And I was like, all right. I was like, I am literally have my gun ready, not aimed at them, but I have my gun out, being like,
how do you have your gun out without aiming it?
So what you do is you like pull the trigger to aim it, and then like you don't, and so it's like, so they normally it'll just be sitting there for a minute, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And so then like what I'm doing is just like kind of constantly doing like this, but without like holding it on a guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's just like getting ready, right? And then Randy goes to talk to these guys, and all of a sudden it's just like whatever he says to them with like the dialogue option, they all just go, what the fuck? And like they all just like turned red. And me and Randy just, because we talked through it, just all pull our guns, just like gun them all down. One guy just starts like running away, like, oh, or no, he goes and like goes to the kitchen. He's like, no, I surrender. Randy goes up to him, talks to him again. Whatever he says, the guy's just like, I gotta get out of here. And I just see him running out of the building as Randy's like, fuck this guy, he can't escape. And I just see him run past me, go to the front door. I don't see it because I don't go outside, but I just hear this like, and then he just like stops back. And he's like, he got away, whatever. And then he just immediately starts looting these guys for all their guns and all their ammo. And I'm like, well, and this is a matter of like 3 seconds. It's crazy.
It's just how Dalton and I
played.
But it's just the. I mean, man, it's a lot to get used to.
It's a lot. It's a high curve. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure once you're flowing, but man, the learning curve. And I think the main thing is I just don't like the fact I can't carry as much. Yeah. If I can carry more shit, I think I can, because I really like the fact of just hanging out at the base and just gotta do it. Like, because I think about it a lot. Like, I'm sitting on the toilet, like, man, how long could I live in here by myself?
Yeah.
Like, what would happen if I can't go downstairs for a while? Like, what's gonna happen? Like the zombies. So I like this aspect of the game. Man, the curve is just.
It's hard, yeah. It's tough.
It's there. Like I'm like leading on you. I'm like, all right, where do we go? Like, how? Like you gotta.
I'll have you come to my base and you can check it out next time we play. But
I'm downloading it.
Good, great.
Who was asking what and why?
I need Dalton to roll. So last we left our hero so long ago, you were defending the house from the goblins, the bandits, and the wolf. The goblins have been killed. The bandits have been mostly defeated and or have run away. You're dealing
Andor.
But I can't swim.
However, you, I believe, used something to lure the wolf to the front of the house. And as you were doing things, it bit and attacked Engelbert and Radol. Your solution was to throw your makeshift improvised fire item at the wolf that is right there in the jaws, or has Engelbert in his jaws. Engelbert, I believe you rolled, and you did not roll well. I need you to roll for me one more time, and I need you to do a Constitution save.
Wait, is the 9 with the thing on the bottom or the top?
9 would be the bottom. Well, yeah, the line is at the bottom. So is it a 6 or a 9?
6.
Either way, it's not good. Oh no. Okay.
Either way, it's not good.
No, wait.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. It's that one.
Yeah, it's the one. Yes, I think it's a 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Still,
it always confuses me.
the flames, you feel the pain of the direwolf's jaws on your small hobbit-like body. And suddenly that pressure is like let go, and you feel like a momentary relief as like the pain is still there, but like the pressure of things in you is released. However, it's very momentary as that pain is now replaced with an intense heat that's rapidly spreads across your small hobbit body as you have been lit on fire.
Oh God.
Anakin!
Whether this was a brilliant move or not,
Crispy hobbit.
they are quite afraid of fire. So the wolf's face is on fire as it lets out a howl and starts to frantically panic. I hope it does not run in towards the house and runs away.
I hope it does.
For that. But
straight down to that.
Bert, you are on fire. And as the pain kind of overcomes you, a darkness takes you. Whether you're dead or not, we'll have to find out next time.
This was a fast character.
But you have definitely been lit on fire. And with that, we can end today.
Shit.
Plan that one out.
So let us know what we should choose.
So Star Wars
Star
it is.
Wars.
I did not try to lead the witness. We have a few. We have a Jurassic Park game that could be fun. You'll probably die there too. Star Wars might be fun just to cruise around the universe, man.
But did you
I
like
think
that?
Star
Do you
Wars
like
would
that
be fun
picture,
because I
The
feel like the
picture I
world
sent
would
for
be a lot
Jurassic
bigger
World?
than Jurassic Park. Like there'd be.
Oh, it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Wait, what?
That Jurassic World Dominion didn't have to be good to make money.
Oh yeah. No, they just need to put dinosaurs in it.
They just need to put dinosaurs in.
What'd you say, Dalton?
I feel like Star Wars would be cool because it would last longer because of like the lore.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to do. As much as I love Jurassic Park, it would be cool.
Okay.
I think that would also be a quicker one.
Also,
Yeah. That could be like, hey, we're gonna go on a mission, dead. Kind of like this. I'm sorry, guys. I killed you too quickly in Lord of the Rings.
Did you guys hear about that?
I'm still alive.
Yeah.
That dinosaur game that's like
Just
coming out ish. It's like a survival dinosaur game.
No, but I saw that movie.
Really
The Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic Park on how it should have been.
Yeah.
Coming out with
The Adam Driver.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Like it looks solid.
It's like,
hold on, the what?
Dude, it looks sick. It's without trying to spoil anything. I guess whatever. It's in the trailers. Whatever. A guy in a spaceship crashes.
What the fuck is it called?
Just look up Adam Driver.
Yeah,
I did, and I'm not seeing it.
It should be like the first thing on his IMDb page.
White Noise?
No,
Dude, White Noise. Like, what is this? 03?
Megalopolis?
65.
65. Everything I said, but that.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like bypass like the first thing on the list.
I was like, it can't be 65. But I said Ferrari because apparently it could be Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Ferrari. Do you remember that kid at
Yeah,
In-N-Out?
I fucking remember that kid. Ferrari.
Ferrari.
What?
Francis Coppola. What?
Ferrari. He's like, oh, they're
Don't
doing Ferraris. When you rev the engine, it says Ferrari.
Some rich kid working at In-N-Out.
Ferrari.
Well, JARdon the mess, everybody. JARdon.
Hold on.
Oh, no, sorry.
What is
You
it?
want to talk about dinosaur movies?
Have you found
I
it
do,
yet?
actually.
Like,
Oh yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
No, it looks good.
Why
Are you
have I
watching
not
it?
Seen this?
Well, don't watch it now. Watch it later.
Too late. He's watching it.
You know what's
I want a live reaction.
Thinking about this, you know what's crazy is no one's really done a dinosaur movie.
Because you
Aside
came out with
from
fucking Jurassic Park for
Jurassic Park and
yeah, but it's kind of hard to break through when you got Jurassic Park. You know.
oh, why not?
Raptor Island.
Okay, all right. I was before you could say something. I was gonna say until sci-fi started overdoing everything. Like that's the problem. You can't take dinosaurs seriously if sci-fi keeps making
Have
garbage.
you seen that one, Dalton?
Raptor Island? No.
It's a horrible sci-fi movie where like I can't remember the content. Like it's like maybe they send soldiers back in time or whatever. Somehow these like mercenary soldiers end up on this island that has dinosaurs on it, and it's horrible sci-fi channel like CG where it's just bad. There's literally a point where they're like, "What's that over there?" And they like cut, and it's just like this, literally a still velociraptor. It's not moving. It's not doing anything. It's just still, and they're like, get it, and they're all shooting at it, and it's just standing still as you're seeing like little like fake blood things, and then it's like and like runs. It's bad. It's so bad. I want to find you that clip and send it because it's terrible. But,
yeah,
Jar in the Mess.
That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, Jar in the Mess. I haven't eaten yet. Hungry.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody. It's good to be back. We're gonna try and do this more
until Dalton
See you
leaves.
again.
Till next time, Jar in the Mess.
Blah.